Welcome back, Five Aces.
Battle control initialized.
Hey people, Five Aces here. Every now and then there comes a moment in your life where you're just pondering, sitting there pondering, alright, we've come this far. How has it actually come to this? And this is one of those moments. We are approaching the finals of Season 13 of RAGL. I remember when Season 1 of RAGL was rolling around, hosted by So Scared, and you know, that was back when I was competitive. That was good times, and over 7 years ago at that point. So RAGL has been going strong with an average of around 2 seasons per year, which is impressive for a competitive format with a small competitive community. And yeah, shout out to everybody involved. With that out of the way, we are going to be finding ourselves not in the middle of an existential crisis, but rather in the middle of a tense 1v1 game. A best of 5 series between two players who honestly have folded a little too easily in their respective playoff games. More easily than I had anticipated anyway. But here they are. And this time around, no backsies. It is gonna be spawning on the left-hand side as the Blue Russian Special Forces. It is gonna be Mr. Gacius. And he is tangoing with Mr. Blackened in the red. And also spawning is Russia as well. Oh, Russia mirror. Oh, really nice attempt at a backstab from Blackened. Could have worked if he had gone for a later engineer. If he had gone for a 20 stack of rifles, but instead it was, I think, a 15 stack only. Quote unquote only, but with today's aggressive meta, that appears to be relatively within the norm. And here is the engineer out for Blackened, who has unsuccessfully tried to infiltrate. Yeah, that's gonna be a good series. I'm hyped because those two players are gonna be giving it their all this time around, I'd assume. Tech is already being saved to the backlines. So, this has been a triple ref with a sell order from Blackened. So this looks super aggressive to me. Both players are on their War Factory timings now, but Blackened has gone for triple refinery first, so he's obviously going to be far behind in terms of the timing. So he needs to make this count somehow. Is he going to go for an early push? Oh, wow. Those guys tried anticipating an engineer, rather it was a rifle. The trap has been sprung. But Blackened went for his backline capture first. And here we've got our first engagement. This is going to be a large one. There is no forces out, or no armored forces out for either player just yet. There is a brief window where Gacius' APC hasn't yet hit the field. Oh, he's going for an O-truck first anyway. Okay, big concave. Is it going to be enough? Rifles from Blackened being pushed back, but thus far no decisive engagement win for either player just yet. I honestly think he should... Yeah, Gacius should just be waiting. Blackened is going for a Radadome. That's what the triple ref was for. Okay, we're already going super spice mode. Ooh, I'm enjoying this a lot. Okay. He's opted for a control group, as you can see here. Rocket control group, rifle control group. Rockets, rifles. Rockets, rifles. Very risky, because if this one cell gets invaded by an APC, then they all get crushed by pure chance. You know, the 60% dice roll coming in hot, then it's gonna be bad news. But hey, this has been popularized by Omnom, who used to, if you guys remember, Omnom used to wall in one rocket and one rifle at his base and use them as hotkey triggers with sandbags. That was kind of his trademark. Was kind of a really cool idea. APC is now out, can scout and screen, and there is going to be an oil grab, question mark. Yep, the mobile flag has already started the engagement. That is a dead engineer, oh my lord, that went very south for Gacius. Mobile flag making all the difference because it was within reach of the oil rig and immediately pummeling the forces back into submission. That was a big win for Blackened, and oh my lord, are we going Tesla Tech Rush again? This appears to be a Tesla Tech Rush straight out the gate. Okay, we are cooking with nuclear fusion cores. I'm digging this. On a map like this, on a map this close, kind of proxy, And I think what Blackened is going to try and do is go for Shakis, yeah. So he has a stable core of infantry, and he's got the Shakis acting as snipers from the backlines. The thing is, what they can provide is insane range and insane anti-infantry firepower, because they've got a 1000% damage modifier to infantry, so they one-shot tap them immediately. Makes them very deadly backline snipers, but they're also expensive at 350 a pop, and they're not that great against armor anymore. Used to be the case, but they got nerfed heavily. Got hit with a nerf bat, and thus their voltage is not as armor melting anymore as it used to be. That made complete sense at the time. It still does, but hey. Oh! Crucially, Blackened has also taken the oil derrick from Gacius, so I think he's in a pretty good spot. His army is way scarier. And this time around, he's tried this against Yunano as well, but Yunano was just too aware of the one base play. He had seen, he had kind of spotted that there had been no expansions, and conclusively, he went for a mass flak truck build and just rolled over, all over Blackened, was waltzing all over him. And this time around, though, it's looking a lot better. Tier 3 hasn't been scouted yet. This army isn't that scary. Consists of mostly tanks and rockets are completely useless in this type of scenario. Like, what are they gonna do damage against? Against all this light armored vehicle usage, rockets are very expensive, so they get one-tapped by both Tesla tanks and Tesla troopers, and Shakis, I mean. So that rules them out against those, and they're not great. They're shit against rifle infantry. They're not great against anything that is in this armor composition. So yeah, is perfectly soft countered himself. He's also out of position for now, and we're hearing the Tesla ball approaching. I think that is Gacius just in damage control mode. Look at the damage, by the way. Tesla tanks have incredible burst damage. Yeah, I think it's really gonna be a tough sell for Gacius to hold this. His Conyard is just melting. That just evaporated. We're still on one base versus one base. I mean, one versus two bases, actually. Iron Curtain has already been procured. This is looking so good for Blackened. Oh my lord. And now the kiting begins. Against Yunano, the problem was that he had no space to kite back to. But here, he's got a lot of space to fall back. Tesla tanks can start their deadly trait. Start applying some voltage here. And another really... Oh no, the Conyard has been caught yet again. Another really important factor is that Tesla tanks... wait a sec. We're gonna take a look at what's happening here. Alright, that's the Conyard down as well. Tesla tanks have insane range. So if you do this type of push, you can sense one or two Tesla tanks into the ore lines as well. And they can just passively zap harvesters while your opponent is busy dealing with the main push. Okay, this is not how you use them. This is how you lose your Tesla tanks immediately. You need to kite them back, but GG has been called. Rightfully so. Gacius. Oh, the Iron Curtain was already up here. Yikes, that was an early one. I don't think we've ever seen a curtain being fired at minute 8:27, huh? That is super early. Okay, so this one base play has paid off big dividends this time around. Let's see if there's gonna be a Russia pick. I mean, there is no bans in RAGL season 13 as of yet. Maybe it's in the rulebooks for 14. If this tech stuff continues to happen and people get annoyed by Tesla shock pushes. But yeah, that was insane. That was a great play, and it hasn't been read by Gacius. So that puts Blackened up 1-0, and we're gonna be moving on to game number 2.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
And here we're gonna be finding each other on the map Assault, which is this one barren plain that we've been talking about earlier, where you basically have all the space in the world. This is not a traditional rush map, so I'm expecting more something along the lines of a war factory. Opener should be very viable on this map. Blackened going for Russia yet again. Are we going to be seeing another tier 3 push? I'd be surprised. This map doesn't have enough starting ore to support it. You can somehow snake walk to this double expansion, but that's about it. You need to then cover cover the backline ore or the ore on the opposite side of the map if you want to stay competitive. And you know, wars are won by harvesters. As the old adage goes, you don't win wars with simply sheer riflemen, you win them with by building harvesters and getting your economy up. That appears to not be happening here just yet. Alright, first Derrick being claimed, a little skirmish win for Blackened as well. Nothing too game deciding, just a couple of scouts being shaved off, yeah, shouts being saved off. Double refinery for both, so this is more along the lines of a standard build order. Again, Gacius is trying for a cheeky little rifle, trying to prod into the base and catch an engineer off guard. Maybe he's also just scouting for tech. Oh, what? Blackened moving out immediately, alright. This is interesting. There is an... Gacius is going for England, he went for England, so as allies you traditionally have the stronger early game base defenses because Tesla coils don't come online until War Factory, and they also require a lot of power investment, which is the luxury you can't afford in a base push situation. So is this maybe just gonna... Whoa! No, this is a base push. Because I was thinking maybe he would move south and take this ore. But this appears to not be what's happening at all here. Uh-oh. Blackened wants to make this one quick, huh? The forces of Gacius are in a good position to intercept for now. Most of the rifles for Blackened have dried up. There's the engineer, a bit lost. A bit lost in the sauce here. Alrighty. We've got our base push situation going on. This time around, just a power plant, probably going to be followed up with a barracks. But this can get easily outscaled. There is no War Factory out for Blackened, and he's just going, yeah, mass barracks base push. Oh, he yet again undeployed, so there is, right now there is no base defense queued up. That is going to be a bit annoying. Okay, he's going to be within base push radius now. Oh, phew, Gacius could be hit with a nasty timing push. He's not building any infantry himself. Yikes. He should be floating. He should be building. 4 harvesters over 2. He's got more assets, but most of that is tied in harvesters. Harvesters can come in handy here, by the way. Oh, yep, he has scouted the base push. Get away from the flame tower. That is directive number 1 now. And also spam barracks and spam base defenses to your heart's content. You need mass pillboxes to curb the infantry ball. At some point, Blackened is going to run out of build radius. Oh, that's a nasty flame tower. Oh, that one is positioned so well. Ranger is coming out, and yeah, Ranger is just gonna do a little bit of tickle damage to this force here. Oh my! Gacius immediately throwing in the towel. That is the 2-0 for Blackened, and 2 very different strategies, but both kind of cheesy. Gotta hand it to my man, not playing standard this time around. Huh? Maybe listen to the people who said, hey, don't play meta every single time. That was... I don't agree with Gacius there. That was also a lack of scouting. He had very few rifles around. Yeah, that is a 2-0. So far, clean sweep. We're gonna find each other in game 3 to explore our options further. See you in a sec.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Well, that was short and sweet. We're gonna move on to game number 3. This time around we are on Abendland. The map with the slightly altered tile set that looks ever so slightly weird. And also the map, I think, is the one with the gem mines, right? No. It is, though, a map that is gorgeously handcrafted. Look at those rivers. I'm not spotting any tile errors right now. This looks just gorgeous. Very nice. Even though the tile set looks kind of unfamiliar. Also, this peak, this little mountaintop, this must be a custom tile. Never seen it in the originals. Like 90% sure. But that's the case. So some custom tiles coming in hot here. Let's admire the map maker's creation for a bit. I also think the saturation got toned up a little bit for this map. Looks a bit more lush than other maps, but it's the Abendland, you know. It's not exactly a desert, not exactly an arid desert. It's kind of fertile lands. This time around, Blackened going for allies and going for a couple of medics early on. At least one of them I'm spotting here. Yeah, only one. Medics are interesting. They are more expensive. They obviously have their utility, but they're also tanky. This is something you don't factor in infantry engagements, but they actually have a higher health pool, I believe, or used to. Did they get changed? I'm not entirely certain. But they actually have a higher health pool, or used to, at least, than regular rifles. Okay, engineer. Oh my. Gacius has snuck in this infantry into a perfect position. Oh, the intercept. The 200 IQ play. Oh my lord. What a play. Yeah, nice. That was certainly nice. Ha! Gets to claim another life here as well. So, paying for his equipment 5 times over. War Factory Rush for Gacius. Ooh. This was a very spicy take, but this also puts him a little bit ahead of the curve here. Because he has curbed the economy scaling of Blackened, who is now on basically just double refinery. So Gacius himself can go for just, oh, he's going for an early APC, okay. So APC, triple refinery, or double refinery harvester. That's fine. And he's already following it up with barracks. There is the war factory out for Blackened right now. Has it been scouted? Not just yet, but he sees the Rangers, so all should be clear now. That is some garbage economy from Blackened right there. Look at this long distance mining. Obviously, that kind of tends to be the case whenever you're mining on this base on this map too long, because the actual ore nodes are far away. Yeah, same here. But already up to 4 harvesters is Gacius. APC can now push around and bully the Ranger a little, but the Ranger should be wiser than engaging in head-on combat and just, skirting around the edges. Oh, Blackened got lucky in the cell order. It is random what types of infantry you get from a cell. It is only predetermined in terms of value, but the actual infantry that you're getting, the type, is random, so he randomed into 10 civilians. That's always something. APC is now probably trying to go on a crushing spree. Ooh, okay. That was not too bad. Shaving. Oh, he's going back. Nice attempt. Nice attempt. And really good movement from Blackened, who moved away the engineer just for a split second. Wow. That was some solid play. Ooh, so Gacius is going for a double mobile flag build. I've got to say, this series has really surprised me, just with the sheer variety of build orders, of plays in the early game. So, thus far a really good series, even though game 1 and 2 have been relatively short. So we're seeing the entire tier 0 vehicle tech tree. Cool. For both players, we've got Ranger light tank versus APC flag truck. Generally speaking, in an engagement with infantry backup, the Soviet player tends to be favored, even though the Allied player has a massive mobility as well as line of sight advantage. So the Allied player can pick their battles, but the Soviet player does have more muscle, because the APC is just sturdier, and the flag truck can just stay back from the front, from the backlines and poke a little, whereas the Ranger has a really limited range. Oh no! Oh no! This is so unfortunate, and he's gonna get slowed down as well. Yikes! Gacius, my friend! That was terrible! Not scouting for the MCV, so if he's complaining about luck again, I would do a double take on that one, because that was again just up to a lack of scouting. Now it all depends on how much is Blackened gonna lose on the rebound. Because there is gonna be a little, a little Soviet army in his way, and they're much stronger bang for buck right now. Especially with the flag truck poking from the backlines. But Blackened is, he's unabashedly just taking the derricks here, alright. So, big cash flow coming in for him. What a brazen play. Jeez Louise. So this is, all of this is lined up perfectly. Oh no, the light tank is still around. Getting harvesters killed as well? No, okay. the heavy tank has something to say about that. Right, the heads-on engagement has started, but the front line's kind of crumbling for Blackened. Oh, he's feeding his forces into a meat grinder. As I've stated previously, just the APC being the superior tanking vehicle. Oh, this is going to be a complete rout of the army. So this definitely gives Gacius a window back into the game. All the harvesters have survived, even though one of them has taken a chunk. And that is a massive rebound. Oh, the Conyard has been spotted out as well. Move away the flak. He needs to kill the... Yeah, first the pillbox and then the Conyard. This should be enough, I think. If he focus fires, yes, he is focus firing. Perfect. Reinforcements are lining up perfectly as well. Heavy tanks providing some more staying power. Oh, and a Tesla coil into the ore lines. Gorgeous. Just beautiful play. Just a complete rebound here from Gacius. I've got to say, this was as close to perfectly played on the recovery as he could have. He was so far behind after losing the first MCV. And now he's just come back swinging. Beautiful. Flak truck is up to veterancy 2. Oh no, not like this. Wait, Blackened is refocused. Flak truck has actually survived. And now there is 3 heavies that are gonna be roaming, stalking the map. They are packing a punch. And infantry, there's a plethora of still alive. This is not looking good for Blackened at all. Man, I gotta say. What a sick comeback here. This series has certainly delivered. Already, and it's not even game 4 and 5. So, yep, Tesla coil has paid off. Ooh, Blackened has crucially repaired the Conyard. Gacius is trying to sneak his tank into the lines here. But a massive brute force army is out and about. Yeah, pillbox almost immediately being detected. So the base push is on yet again, but the Tesla coil stands strong, and thus the only man with a mining operation right now is Gacius. He's also just found his way into the base of Blackened, and I'm not seeing a comeback at the moment. At the time present, this base is just a husk. This is a front that is trying to charade, trying to disguise itself as a base here. It's basically just a couple barracks in a trench coat. Alright. Armor lines are melting to the massive armor advantage of the Soviet. Yep. Blackened immediately has to retreat. I mean, no retreat here apparently. I was expecting a retreat, but that's not about to happen. Instead, we've got just a lot of wreckage here. Okay, infantry pushing into the pillbox lines. That's maybe a bit ballsy. That seems to have been a select all move. Assault move onto the base. Most of the barracks have been dealt with. Pillboxes are trickling in, but too little too late. I sense a 2-1 coming up here. Radar Dome, is that the route to a comeback? No. Power is low. There is no cash flow for anything here. Blackened still has 2k left, but it is all for naught. Flamers are being mixed in. That is either a surefire sign of a cheese play or of confidence. Of pure display of confidence. Traditionally, you don't mix them in with regular armies because they're just not that combat effective outside of base pushes. But I mean, might as well, right? They're really good. They excel at what they're designed to do, and they're really garbage against anything else because their damage against concrete armor is bad. Yeah, against concrete armor. Because most of the structures are wood armor, but base defenses are concrete armor, as are walls. So there's an artillery, and as long as there's an artillery, there is hope. I'm gonna be honest. This little saying only holds true for low-level play. Really, in high-level play, they just get singled out so easily. singled out or flanked or whatever, what have you, or just dove by a yak strafe. There is a plethora of options here. Gacius is also doing the smart thing, just expanding. He's on 8 harvesters. Blackened still has 3 derricks, but that's about to change. Oh, never show the opponent your true power. That's so smart. Ooh, the Raider Dome is providing vital intel though. I think Blackened sees this army. Yep. Completely within line of sight. In go the heavies. So one advantage of this army is they can play super defensive because they've got the Blackhawk for scouting information. And conversely, Gacius has very limited scouting range. If we go into his vision, he is not going to be able to see most of the army movement, and he doesn't have any scouts outside of those 2 techies. But it's got two-thirds of the map, so that counts for something, right? Let's go back into all player vision. Oh, is this going to be a base push, huh? That is confidence right there. Blackened is going to pop a couple pillboxes down. But he's got 7 heavies headed his way. Not liking his odds at the moment. And 3 more heavies being split off, finding an unsuspecting harvester, as well as a dispatch into the backlines. That is a triple prong. Very sexy. Very good play from Gacius. Gets insane pressure onto Blackened from all sides and angles. The attack is commencing from all conceivable angles. Harvesters are dying. Artilleries are being pummeled by flak trucks. That is, by the way, the right answer to artillery play. To tier 2 play of an allied player. Just purchase mass flak trucks. They cost next to nothing. Very mobile. Very good against anything light armored. Good lord. Is there any econ left here for Blackened? No, there isn't. There is this one harvester. Singular harvester. Yep. That is the war economy, alright, huh? Yeah, that's the last harvester. Delivering its juicy payload. Hopefully soon. And it's got one oil derrick. No, it's got one oil derrick left and a very ballsy ore refinery on the southern patch. So, for some reason, Blackened's still staying in this game. He was 2-0 up, so honestly wouldn't hurt him to concede this game. But, you know, I like seeing it played out. Oh, the heli crashes. Yeah, that's why flak trucks are the perfect response here. Only loses 1 of the flak trucks in this engagement. And the others to random pillbox fire. That's also cool. Yeah, that was such a good comeback from Gacius. I gotta commend the man who's also floating 10k. Has opened up a little Roth IRA that is paid into religiously. Look at the map state. 1 base, 2 bases, 3 bases, 4 bases, 5 bases, 6 bases. Hell yeah. Yeah. That was a very solid defense, and we're gonna be seeing each other. That puts him up at that puts Blackened at a 2-1. We're gonna be seeing each other in game 4. Be right back.
Battle control
after these
terminated.
Messages.
Battle control initialized.
Sorry, what's that? No sponsor? No sponsored segment? The hell is happening here? I'm not really making a good YouTuber, huh? Setting a bad example here by not having a sponsored segment. RIP. Not even Raid Shadow Legends. Maybe the OpenRA Trust Fund, you know. Okay, so that answers our question from last week. Is it possible to not cross spawn but proxy spawn on Isle of Wight? The answer is yes. We've got ourselves a proxy war situation going on. This is now very dependent or very contingent on who scouts whom first, who moves out first, and who base pushes first, honestly, because this is so close to the enemy base. And as soon as you can camp over the ore fields, that is basically GG. Because where else is your opponent going to expand at that rate? Has he seen? I mean, he can infer already, but has he seen the location? No, not yet. But there is a strong indication that this is the spawn. And he's sending out grenadiers. Okay, this is super cheese. Yeah, Blackened doing a much better job at scouting than Gacius is at the moment, because Gacius is very limited. I think he has kind of gotten some PTSD vibes from game number 2, where he got base pushed out almost immediately. He has scouted Blackened's position, but at least that puts him at ease that there's not going to be any cheese play just yet. Double refinery, all's good. All's fair in love and war, you know. Oh, he's already building double power plant. This means he's going super defense mode. Okay. Capturing the backline derricks as well. That is, by the way, 10 grenadiers. A 10 stack of grenadiers. Look at them sprint across the map. If I were wielding like a belt of grenades, I would definitely not be sprinting at that pace. How can those guys keep up? They're probably the most buff soldiers in the entire Soviet army. They're lobbing grenades almost as far as a rifle can shoot. And they're lobbing grenades around sprinting. Those guys are absolute beasts. Oh no. Gacius, you have forgotten about the base defenses. Oh no. The pillbox is 10 seconds shy of coming online. Let's see how much damage can those guys... Oh my goodness! Not like this! The 10 stack grenadiers! What the actual fuck? They just blew up the Conyard in 2 seconds flat! Holy smokes! Oh my lord! Gacius just got nuked out of this series! The particle grenade from orbit, from lower orbit, hitting right smack dab into the center of his Conyard, nuking him right off the server. That is as close to a rage quit as you can get here. No, I'm not trying to infer anything here, but holy smokes. I don't think I've ever seen a grenadier rush this brutal and this effective. We've seen our fair share of grenadier rushes, but this was just grenadier obliteration. This was just gone in the blink of an eye. Alright, so that concludes the series then. That's 3-1 for Blackened, so congratulations on him for scoring his the 3rd place at RAGL Season 13. Congratulations also to Gacius for scoring a 4th place. I think there has been a small cash prize involved in that as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, sometimes you just get punished hard. Really, the problem was that there was a proxy war base push situation going on, and he didn't have a base defense lined up. Had he had a pillbox ready, he could have popped it down, and then moved out the Conyard. As soon as you undeploy, the grenades miss. And that wouldn't have been a big deal. But that was just basically no reaction time. That was gone flat in the blink of an eye. Alright, so yeah, that was the game-winning move. 10 grenadiers, so folks, copy those build orders. Always do what the pros do. Do Tesla tier 3 rushes, do 10 stack grenadier rushes, proxy wars, everything on the kitchen sink. Experiment, go, live and learn, and die in OpenRA and come back and learn yet again. What an awesome series, and we've seen such a diverse range of tactics here. I have highly enjoyed this, despite the games actually being fairly short. It was 3 minutes, and only like 20 frames of that was Gacius' Conyard being blown up. Whew, that is gonna be one for the ages. So thank you for watching, and thank you to the players for playing and also displaying such a range of creativity. And thank you to the hosts of the tournament for making this possible. We're going to be back with the finals, and after that is the TDGL finals, and then we're going to be moving on to the playtest, where there's going to be a special surprise waiting for everybody on the horizon. More about that later. Stay tuned. 5 aces out.
Battle control terminated.